PR Connections Radio presents. This episode of the PR Connections podcast is brought to you by Classy Communications PR and Advertising. Classy Communications provides public relations and marketing solutions for businesses, professionals, and non-profit organizations. It can deliver the true meaning of your business with press releases, social media marketing, web development, email marketing, book publishing, and much more. Wherever your potential clients are, they can help you connect with them. Visit classycommunications.net to learn more about their suite of services that can help your business stand out from the rest. Classy Communications is your solution for business success.
Hello there, and welcome to the Sunday Morning Chat Series with Jesse Oakley III. This is your host, Jesse Oakley III speaking, and the purpose of the Sunday Morning Chat Series is for myself to interview a plethora of positive people that are making big differences in the communities, whether they're speakers, leaders, writers, athletes, entertainers, entrepreneurs, podcasters, whatever it is, you'll hear from them first right here on the Sunday Morning Chat Series with me, Jesse Oakley III. And today we have ourselves a wonderful episode. Yes, I have a podcast here called the Sunday Morning Chat Series with yours truly. But I also like to hear amazing podcasters from different features and different facets and different parts of the organization. And I have with me an amazing podcaster from MIC2MIC. And without any further delay, please help me welcome none other than Allison Blakeman with MIC2MIC Podcast. Hey, Allison, how's it going?
Hey, good morning, Jesse. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, it is great to be here. And with that being said, are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
All right, without further delay, let's chat.
All right.
All right, now, the first question I have for you is MIC2MIC podcasting, or the podcast, MIC2MIC. What is it all about? Could you explain to all the happy people out there what MIC2MIC is all about?
I would love to, Jesse. MIC2MIC stands for Moments in Communication, Moments in Conversations to inspire, motivate, and connect other people. So what I want to do is, what I found is in life, a lot of people lack self-confidence and the belief in themselves. And in my journey through life, I have found that so many people have done amazing things that they never thought were capable. And what I found is a lot of people have self-doubt. They have a dream inside of them, this big audacious dream, but they lack the courage and the faith in themselves to bring it out. So MIC2MIC, Moments in Conversation to motivate, inspire, and connect people. I'll be interviewing people who have made a difference, who have something to shine and to share with the world, to inspire other people. And in my life, I've heard people's stories, Jesse, and I've said, oh my gosh, me too. Me too. And then to hear their stories of how they've done it and how simple it was, I want to share those stories and encourage other people.
Oh, truly, truly fantastic. Oh my goodness. It's like the Sunday Morning Chat Series is basically making big differences in communities. And I love podcasts like that. I love them big time. All right. Now another question I do have for you is, when it comes to establishing and organizing this podcast, everybody has their start. Could you take us to day one on how you got MIC2MIC started?
Okay, that's an interesting story because I am a Toastmaster. And in the Toastmaster programs, in the Pathways programs, there is, when you reach level 5, there is an option to do a path called High Performance Leadership. And I met a gentleman in a Toastmasters club named Michael Dugan, who is host of Voice for Chefs. Michael told me about high performance leadership and how it helped him to launch his podcast. And as we talked, Michael said, Allie, you've got a dream inside you to reach other people and to connect with other people. You should think about doing that. So I thought about it and I chose that high performance leadership pathway to launch the podcast. And that high performance leadership path requires you to develop or dream up a program or a project, and then to enlist a group of people to help guide you and be your mentors, and that you can bounce feedback off of and even assign tasks to. So I picked 5 people, including Michael, the podcaster, a famous world-renowned author, and speaker, as well as a voice coach, and then a former district director and others to be a part of my committee and my team. And they helped me to form the idea, gave me feedback as I bounced ideas off of them, and they gave me the encouragement to do it. And one thing that I've heard a famous podcaster named John Lee Dumas said, he always talks about, you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And that's something that goes right into the high performance leadership and with Toastmasters, because you are an average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with and that you associate with daily. And that really shaped and helped form the idea, taking it from an idea and a wish to be like, well, I wish someday that I would like to launch a podcast, or someday I would like to help people. And then people like Michael come along and say, why not today, Allie? Why not do it now? And then that got me started in the high performance leadership. And that is the best time to start was yesterday or in the past. The next best time to start, Jesse, is today.
I tell you, you hit the nail right there on the head. And in the wise words of professional wrestler and actor John Cena, the time is now. It's always been about the now, and definitely want to go out there and just do it. If you have that vision right there, bam, just take the step forward, and next thing you know, you'll be having a podcast of your own. So that is truly an amazing, fantastic start to actually getting this off the ground. Now, when it comes to getting something like this off the ground with podcasting, there are those type of challenges that seem to be in the way. There seem to be those roadblocks. There seem to be those barriers. Now, the people, yes, they could stop at these barriers and roadblocks, but the strong people are able to overcome those challenges. Now, what were some of the challenges that you faced in this venture that you're able to overcome and be victorious about?
The first one, Jesse, what a wonderful question. The first challenge is the challenge of myself and me, because you have to do it and start. And I'm just launching my podcast, so I'm not a successful podcaster like yourself or others, but I am starting and launching my podcast with a few interviews. And the challenge is to get started, to get over that fear of, am I going to be lousy? Who's going to listen? It's the self-critiquing, the lack of self-confidence, and you need people to surround yourself with people who will say, you can do it. Yes, you can. Okay, so what if your first couple episodes stink? But like any great athlete or anyone, you have to be willing to be lousy, but you have to start. In order to be great, you have to first get started, and you have to be willing to make mistakes and learn. That's the biggest thing for me. And then other challenges out there are finding the music, learning the apps. People will come up with all kinds of excuses. I believe that excuses, Jesse, are one of the most plentiful things on this planet, because you can always come up with an excuse. There's reasons why, and reasons differentiate between excuses. Excuses is, I know I should do this, but I don't. That's an excuse. A reason would be, well, I wanted to go out jogging today, but it's raining. That's the reason I didn't go. The excuse is, oh, I'm tired this morning, or my foot was aching a little bit. So you have to differentiate between an excuse or a reason. And then the one big thing is you have to find your why. And it's very important to have a very powerful why behind it. That is what motivated me, is because of the stories, like hearing people say they doubt themselves, and then to find out that famous, successful people had the same self-doubt. But then when you talk to them, you hear this amazing story, and you're like, wow, other people need to hear this because they're struggling too. And that's what I want to do, is bring that out. So the challenge for me was myself. I was my own worst enemy and my biggest hurdle.
Now, I tell you what, Allie, this is what the show is all about for Sunday Morning Chat Series, because each of us is going through challenges and are able to overcome these challenges. And I know that when I have quality people like Allie and other people I've interviewed in the past, this is for you, to show you how it's done and the challenges. We all have through challenges. We all go through how able to overcome them. And then it'll be where we are right now. And I really love the fact that you say that in order to begin, you have to expect to stink in the beginning and actually get better after that. So, Allie, you're hitting again. I see one nail right here. Bam, you're hitting it on the head. Right here, bam, you're hitting it right there. And I see now I'm going to set up the next nail for you. Right.
Okay.
Next question is we talk about the challenges. Now, what were some of the best moments you experienced in this journey?
Oh my gosh, Jesse, the best moment in this journey. Okay. I have loved podcasts since podcasts came out. And in about 2012, 2013, I came across the podcast called Entrepreneur on Fire with John Lee Dumas. I came across it because at the time I was trying and wanting to launch my own marketing company. Had some success there, but it just didn't pan out. And it led me to a different journey. But I kept listening, and I've listened to John Lee Dumas's podcast for about 13 years. And some of the things he said. Well, then as I joined Podmasters, which is a Toastmasters club that is online, and we meet weekly on Sunday evenings, where we do interviews and prep for podcasting. It's for inspiring podcasters or experienced podcasters like yourself to be a part of, to learn, share your knowledge, experiences, and grow. I had a dream that I always wanted to either be on John's show or to interview him. So back in May, I sent an email to John Lee Dumas at Entrepreneur on Fire and gave a little pitch and talked about Podmasters Toastmasters Club, about Toastmasters, and said I would like to interview him. And I get an email back a couple of days later that says, hey, tell me more about Toastmasters. And then we set up a date. And then on May 25th, on a Sunday evening, he shows up and I about screamed because to me, he is a celebrity. He has changed my life in such a dramatic, fascinating way. And to see him at the meeting online, and I was going to interview him, was a dream come true. That was the best moment because I have a saying, and it's one of my life mottos that I live by. If you don't ask, Jesse, the answer is always no. So what do you have to lose? Because if you don't ask, the answer is automatically no. But Jesse, a yes might just change your life. And for me, by sending an email and asking, he said yes. And then I asked if he wanted to do a pre-interview meeting, and he said no. And so I sent him some questions, and I thought, oh my gosh, I hope I'm not being scammed. I hope this is not somebody playing a prank on me. And a lot of people showed up for the meeting, and then he joins, and as soon as he joins, he goes, boom, shake the room. And I wanted to scream when he did that. That, Jesse, to me, was my greatest moment so far, because to me, that was like interviewing a rock star or a movie star.
And I tell you what, rock star, movie star, I'm gonna call you a carpenter, Alley, because you're just hitting these nails right there. Boom, one nail, boom, another nail, boom, another nail. And these are all amazing nails and best moments. And I tell you, you're building something amazing, being a carpenter, hitting all these nails right there on point. Now, another question I have for you is, let's say that after this interview that you had with this wonderful person, there is someone out there who thought about being a podcaster like us, and they come up to you and they say, Allie, you're an inspiration. You really inspire me to be a podcaster on my own right, and I want to do what you're doing right now. And I just really want to be like you, and I want to be in your shoes. If you were to have that person talk to you and tell you this, what advice would you give that up-and-coming podcaster?
What advice would I give, Jesse? Wow, there's a couple things there. Because one thing that I'm known for is authenticity, is being authentic. So the first thing I would tell them is you don't want to be like me. You want to find your why, and you want to be unique and yourself. You want to do your thing, add your style to it. Don't be a carbon copy of someone else. Be a unique, original person. And then talk to them about their why. What is their audience? Who is their intended audience? What are they going to talk about? And then to help them with some of the things that I've learned in my professional career and through Toastmasters about setting the agendas, finding their why, and then doing it, and then taking the first step, whether you grab an iPhone and you do a podcast recording, or some of the challenges, like I'm doing an upcoming, Michael Dugan and I are going to do an upcoming session regarding imposter syndrome, because a lot of people struggle with imposter syndrome. So we're going to do an entire podcast session on imposter syndrome and how to overcome it. But what I would do is I would encourage the person and then see how serious they were. and to ask them, are you serious, or is this just a wish to say someday, someday? That goes back to a movie. I love motivational quotes, my friend. I absolutely love motivational quotes, and I seem to find them in the weirdest places, okay? I don't like graphic horror movies. I don't like bloody movies or anything like that. And I enjoy Tom Cruise as an actor. And I was watching a movie called Collateral, and to me it was rough. It was dark to watch. And I was getting all the way through it, and there was a scene where he gets in he's in the taxi cab, and the taxi cab driver kept saying, someday I'm going to own my own limo company. I'm going to own my own limo company. And Tom Cruise is in the back, and I won't say everything, but he kept hearing him say this someday. And Tom Cruise goes, someday my dream will come. And he said, but you were never going to do it anyway. You're just going to wake up later on in your lounger, realize you've been hypnotized by daytime TV your entire life. You were never going to do it anyway. And he said, all it would have took was a down payment on a Lincoln Town car, and you could have made your dream come true. And at that moment, it was like time just stopped, Jesse. And I thought about that, and it keeps playing over in my head every so often to remind myself to motivate, because people talk through that movie. Jamie Foxx kept saying, oh, someday I'm a cab driver right now, but someday I'm going to own my own limo company. Someday my dream's going to come true. Why not take the action and start today? Why not? That movie is one of my favorite movies. It's rough to watch because of the gore and the dark theme of it. But that quote, when he said that, someday my dream will come. And that's what I would tell people. Is it someday, or is that someday today?
Ooh, my goodness. I tell you, hey, what else is there? I don't know about you, happy people out there, but my mind is blowing up right now to this point. You may not see it, but I hope you can feel it. This is truly fantastic. And that was a great advice for that up-and-coming person. I don't know about you, but when I look at the calendar, I don't see someday in the calendar. Yes, I see Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yes, we have today, we have yesterday, we have tomorrow. But I don't see a someday.
Not someday.
Exactly. You got to have that right now and right moment, and just do it, like the Nike ad. Mm-hmm. Now, it is truly fantastic, truly amazing. Now, you talk about MIC2MIC podcast. Where could people actually go to know more about MIC2MIC?
I do have a website, MIC2MIC.com, and also to AllisonBlakeman.com. And I will be sharing on social media. And when we do the official public launch, the Podmasters Toastmasters Club, I found out was going to surprise me and throw a launch party. So it'll be on the internet and be out there. And then I hope to launch on Apple Store, Spotify, and other platforms as well.
I tell you what, once AllisonBlakeman.com, MIC2MIC.com, is that correct?
Yep.
All right. And also, when you do have that podcast out, allow me to be one of your first subscribers to see what it's all about with MIC2MIC, because I definitely love to check out amazing podcasters like yourself, and as well as the different people that you have on the podcast. So definitely, when it comes out, let me be one of your first subscribers.
And by the time this episode released, Jesse, my plan is to have it active. So look for MIC2MIC with Allison Blakeman.
All right. Consider that done, my friend. Now, the next portion of this episode is a shout out portion. And it gives you a chance to give a shout out to people that made this possible for you. If you can actually give a shout out to the people that made your journey the way it is, who would you like to give a shout out to?
Wow. Jesse, so many people in my life have shaped and formed who I am. Some good, some bad. The people in our lives that can play a negative role in our life, that do us dirty, betray us, lie to us, they actually shape who we become. The list would go on. I could spend an hour thanking people. The people in my life right now that are really helping me and have become my extended family. And I want to give a shout out to Toastmasters across the world, because Toastmasters people think that Toastmasters is only for professional speakers, but Toastmasters is not. We all speak, whether we speak to a cashier at a drive-through, whether we are speaking in front of people for a living like you and I do, or everyday people. Toastmasters is about communicating with your spouse, with your family. And Toastmasters, when I joined, And it's a funny story why I joined, because I was put in a predicament at work with the CEO of the company that I was invited to a meeting and given a different reason why I was there. And I was going to be the person talking to the CEO, and it did not go good, Jesse. It did not go well. That's what led me. I walked out of that meeting and said, I am never going to be put in that position again. And I joined Toastmasters for the explicit purpose of learning to be a better communicator and never being in that position again. What I found was this entire community of supportive people around me. I could tell you about Michael Dugan. I could tell you about Fred Bergeron. I could tell you about Annette Palmer and other people that have shaped my life and across the country, like Fersi Gatu, who is an international speaker that is so friendly and welcoming. And I would just give the shout out to Toastmasters. For anyone listening to this, go check out your local Toastmasters club. Many clubs are hosted online. It's free to attend a meeting if you would like to see what's going on, and it will open your world. You will meet people that will just change your life for the better, and they're there to uplift you, support you, and to give you strength and believe in yourself.
Truly fantastic. And definitely check out Toastmasters at www.toastmasters.org and just go to find a club, and you can find a club near you. In 6 of the continents all over the world, there's a Toastmaster club. There would be a 7th if we were able to teach penguins how to speak in Antarctica. That would be number 7 right there. To go again, Toastmasters.org, check it out.
Yep.
Now, the last question I do have for you will be addressed to the people that watch this podcast, my fans, which are known as the happy people. And for each people I interview, they're always amazed and truly excited about the wise words of wisdom from some of my guests that they'll be able to share with the happy people. Now, if you have a chance to share one more wise words of wisdom to my crew and my people, the happy people, what would it be?
A word of wisdom. I would have to go back and say what I said earlier about, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. Because that really changed my life. Early in life, I was shy, I was scared, and I didn't speak up. And I missed out on so many opportunities in my life. Ask for that job. Ask people. There is a quote in the Bible that talks about that you have not because you ask not. Mm-hmm. So ask. What's the worst someone can say? No. Believe in yourself. And sometimes a no is not the end of the world. A no just might move you to the direction that you need to go. And never, ever give up. You'll have bad days. You'll have good days. You have to take them both to make every day.
All right, Allie. And that is a perfect bookend to a wonderful episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series with Jesse Oakley III. And on behalf of all the happy people that are watching this, Allie, I thank you for being a part of the Sunday Morning Chat Series with Jesse Oakley III.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right, and this concludes this episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series. For more about Sunday Morning Chat Series and other podcasts, go to PR Connections at prconnectionsradio.com. But wait, there's more. You can actually go to YouTube and type in PR Connections, and you'll see a plethora of podcasts that are like myself with the Sunday Morning Chat Series, but also some other cool podcasts along the way. But wait, there's also even more. If you want to check out some past interviews that I've done on different episodes of the Sunday Morning Chat Series, you just go to YouTube and type in Sunday Morning Chat Series. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment, share, and just check out the interviews that I've done from 2020, 2021, 2024, and right here in 2025. That's Sunday Morning Chat Series on YouTube. Now, on behalf of Allie and myself, this is Jesse Oakley III wishing you the best. And stay tuned for our next episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series, which will air 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on PR Connections. This is Jesse Oakley III speaking, and until next time, you take care and have a great day. Bye.
PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.